Welcome, and thank you for joining me for another Random Gaming News, where today we're going to take a look at the Nintendo Switch shortage that has been going on and what actually is going on with it, as well as the PS5 controller and how that actually looks now, and so much more. Go ahead and check out those social media links in the description for my Facebook and Twitter page, because I get news over there that I don't necessarily get here on the channel, so you don't want to miss out on that. Also share this video so that way you guys can help out the channel the most. Hit the like button if you do enjoy today's video, and subscribe if you haven't already with that bell icon turned on, and let's go ahead and start the show. So it's been a while since we really heard anything coming from Cyberpunk 2077 other than that the game has been delayed and that they are still working on it remotely here. Well, Wednesday we got a surprise tweet from the official Cyberpunk Twitter account where we learned a little bit more about one of the gangs that will be in Night City, the Moxies. The tweet actually said, "Formed in 2076 after the death of Elizabeth Lizzie Borden, a strip club owner and ex-prostitute who treated her workers fairly and defended them from violent clients, the Moxies refer to themselves as those who protect the working girls and guys from violence and abuse." It would seem the group was formed after the death of a lady who was named after Lizzie Borden, a famous axe murderer, but the group actually vows to protect the workers of the street, protecting them from violent acts from pimps, people at the strip clubs, and anything else that, might come their way if they're, doing stuff where they're hooking on the street. So it is nice to see that, we are getting some more news about some of the gains that are actually coming from Cyberpunk 2077, and that the game still isn't being delayed with everything that's going on in the world. I'm just happy to see that we're still getting some more Cyberpunk 2077 news, and can't wait and look forward to anything else that might be coming out from this franchise, because I am super hyped for Cyberpunk 2077 and I can't wait for September to come around so that way I can get my hands on this game and see what it's actually all about. A couple of weeks ago, we started getting reports that many stores were starting to actually run out of Nintendo Switch consoles themselves, and it seems that we wouldn't be getting any more anytime soon, because with all of the craziness happening, these consoles were actually being made and produced in China, and with that country pretty much being shut down, it was pretty hard to get new consoles made. Well, it would seem that we're getting some new consoles here in the coming weeks, as it does seem that they're going to be starting off first with getting out those pre-made consoles or pre-ordered consoles they had for Animal Crossing, and then they'll start working on focusing on more consoles, getting those out to the market and into actual stores, and they're going to actually be giving us some more information over on Twitter in the coming week. So next week they're going to be, probably telling us more dates and everything along those lines, because they didn't really tell us exactly when we could be expecting more consoles, but they are working on making sure that this supply shortage is running down, so that way we can focus on getting out those consoles and playing Animal Crossing and anything else, because that's definitely something that we need right now with everything going on, is a little bit of a distraction from it, so that way we can make sure that we're still staying sane when we're stuck inside our homes. So it is nice to see that Nintendo is coming around and we are getting some more consoles, but it does suck that we don't have an actual time frame of when we'll be getting those consoles, so we'll have to wait and see what Nintendo's Twitter page says whenever they actually do announce it. Now let's take a look at the new PS5 controller, which actually looks a lot different than any of the other controllers that Sony has actually made, and it seems that they've made a big difference in change of design from the look of any other controllers and given it a shiny new name as DualSense. So it actually looks like, to me, I think it looks like something that Moon Knight might throw at criminals, but, Sony didn't actually manage just to change the look of the controller, but they also managed to actually add a few new features into the controller, like haptic feedback. That actually gives for a more immersive experience while you are playing the games, and kind of makes it feel like you're in the game itself, as well as adding new triggers that had better reaction time, and actually you could feel the tension of the actions while you're playing games. And in the blog post they actually talked about how they wanted the controller to feel smaller but not actually be smaller, and how they moved the light bar from the top of the controller over to the side of the touchpads there. And you can see that the controller is also a two-tone black and white instead of the standard just one color kind of design that Sony has. And if you really look at these controller, like I said, it looks a lot different than any other controller that Sony has put out. If you look at the PS1 all the way up until even the PS4, all those controllers look pretty similar as well. You can identify it that this is a PS controller. This one does not look like a standard PS controller, and I'd be interested to see how it actually feels in your hand, because it does actually look a cross between like the Google Stadia and an Xbox controller had a baby, and this is what we got. So it'd be interesting to see, like I said, how the actual controller feels in your hand, how some of these actual features are going to work, and because they did actually say that they were actually taking the share button away to replace that with the create button to make it easier for you guys to share content online. So I want to know how all these new features work and how everything's going to play into the actual controller itself. So I guess we'll have to wait until we actually hear more from Sony, or if we get some more information later this year when the actual consoles release. Well, that's the video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you do, hit the like button. Let me know that you did. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about anything from that Nintendo Switch shortage, the new gang that's being added to the Cyberpunk 2077 gang, or, the actual new look of the PS5 controller. I'd love to know what you guys thought about that new look of the PS5 controller here. So leave those thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter and Facebook so that way you can get news that I don't necessarily get here in video form on the channel. And share this video so that way you guys can help out the channel the most. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already with that bell icon turned on so that way you can be notified of when I make more content. As always, I have been Tasty, this has been Random Gaming News, and have a wonderful fucking gaming night.